During their sleep through the cosmos, the group are awakened by alarms letting them know they have reached Trask, but with a still fairly damaged ship, Mando has to make a manual entry into the planet's atmosphere, a very bumpy one that sees the Razor Crest crash into the water nearby the landing port. Leaving his ship to be refueled and hopefully repaired, Mando sets off with the Frog Lady in search of her husband, whom they quickly find roaming the nearby area, and the two are reunited. The husband directs Mando to a nearby inn for more information on the local Mandalorian, but during their conversation they are watched from afar by an unknown hooded woman. A server at the inn confirms that others in Beskar armor have passed through the area, and that he knows of someone who can help, directing a Quarren over to him, who agrees to help him, and they set sail. The group sets sail on the Quarren's fishing vessel, making mention of a creature known as a Mamacor that they keep stored under the ship, but while showing Mando how they feed the creature, the Quarren hits the child's carrier into the water, causing him to be swallowed whole by the Mamacor. Mando dives in after the creature and the child, with the Quarren locking the hold above him in an attempt to steal Mando's Beskar after he's dead. Before the crew can drown him, he is rescued by two others in Beskar armor, with one going after the child and rescuing them from the Mamacor. The leader of the group removes their helmet to reveal they are Bo-Katan alongside Casca Reeves and Axe Woves, with the armor having been passed down in her family for 3 generations. Bo-Katan reveals she was born on Mandalore and fought during the time of the Purge, and that she is the last of the Kryze line, and that Mando is a child of the Watch, a cult group who sought to re-establish the ancient way of the Mandalore, to which Mando refuses there's any other way and flies off. Sometime later, the trio also depart the ship, destroying it as they go. Mando returns to the portside town, where he is confronted by the Quarren's brother and a group of more of their kind looking for revenge for his death, beginning with the death of the child, but before they can attack, Bo-Katan group returns and kills them all. Bo-Katan takes Mando to the inn, where she reveals Trask is a black market port selling items and weapons from Mandalore, and that her group are seizing the weapons back in an effort to retake their home planet and put a Mandalore on the throne. Though Mando refuses to help in the overtaking of Mandalore, believing the planet to be so doomed to fail even the Empire couldn't control it, Bo-Katan offers him a deal that if he helps them on a mission to infiltrate an Imperial Gozanti freighter and steal their weapons, she will guide him to a nearby Jedi. The plan is to jetpack up to the ship as it begins its ascent to remain off of its radar, with Mando leaving the child with the Frog Lady and her husband during the job. Mando reminds the child to behave and not try and eat her eggs, and the child watches as one hatches in front of him. The crew jetpack onto the ship and attempt to take out the stormtroopers on the outside of the ship patrolling, however one sounds an alarm of pirates to the rest of the crew, making their job that much harder. After hacking their way through the outer door, the group head inside and begin attacking the rest of the stormtroopers on the ship, wiping them all out in relatively quick fashion. With the group making their way quickly through the ship towards the cargo bay, the captain of the freighter orders they ignore the port's protocol and quickly ascend into the atmosphere, so they may jump into hyperspace and regroup with the rest of their fleet. Despite orders to hold them off until they can jump to hyperspace, the commander of the stormtroopers below seals the group in the cargo control area, thinking he's trapped them, but instead allowed them access to open the cargo bay doors and suck all remaining enemies out of the cargo hold. Bo-Katan radios up to the captain's bridge to shut down the captain's threat of them jettisoning the weapons off the ship, but that her crew is set to take the entire ship, to which Mando reacts negatively, as that was not part of his deal. Bo-Katan says there's something the Empire members on board know the location of that was stolen from her, and that she needs back in order to overthrow the regime on Mandalore, and demands that Mando help or else she won't give him the info he needs. As the group prepare to take over the rest of the ship, the captain receives a call from Moff Gideon, who refers to the pirates in question as ones who have attacked other ships, confirming Bo-Katan's previous mention of other thefts from the Empire. After requesting multiple times for backup in order to keep the ship under their control, Moff denies the captain, stating that if the bridge is all that hasn't been taken over, there's only one thing left to do, ending his transmission with "Long live the Empire." The captain kills the pilots of the ship and sits in one of their chairs, sending the ship in a downward spiral in an effort to prevent them from taking the ship. With a large group of troopers protecting the bridge, Mando runs into their blaster fire and takes their shots while throwing out thermal grenades to eliminate the bunch. As they reach the bridge, Mando and Casca attempt to keep the ship while Bo-Katan questions the captain on the location of the Darksaber, to which he confirms her suspicions it's in the possession of Moff. Bo-Katan states she'll let the captain live in exchange for leading her to Moff, but he states Moff wouldn't let him live either way and chews on an electric suicide pill hidden in his tooth, killing himself. As Bo-Katan's group prepare to take off and jump into hyperspace, Mando gets ready to depart the ship and asks where the Jedi are located, to which she says to head to the city of Caladan on the forest planet of Corvus to meet up with Ahsoka Tano and tell her he was sent by Bo-Katan, while also thanking him for his help on the mission. Mando returns to the portside town to retrieve the child from the frog couple, where it is playing with one of their offspring as it bathes in a small bowl of water. Mando returns to the Razor Crest to find it rebuilt with scrap parts, enough to help him fly, but in a very rough fashion. During takeoff, the child notices a small octopus-like creature crawling around in its direction in a menacing manner, but before it can attack it, Mando grabs hold of it and kills it, leaving it with the child to eat as they head off for their next location.